to a friend of mine tonight.
Yeah. Someone with red pants? This guy here.
Oh, hey!
Top of the bottom.
All right.
Up and up.
You know what? It was a great idea backstage. It worked perfect on stage. Well done, gentlemen. There's been plenty of gifts of that.
We need a bigger size for that gag to work properly.
Here lies Misha Collins. Death by piggyback.
No, for two grown men in one jacket, I wasn't calling you large. Just saying, no, don't think that the wrong way. You're very slender. You're cut. You're ripped.
Wow!
Shit.
Thanks a lot. Now we've lost the drummer.
I lost the drummer. Can you play drums?
Where's Mark? No.
Misha, welcome to Dallas.
Come on, Steve. Come back, man. Come
back.
Come on.
Come on.
Steve, go. Come on, Steve. You're ripped. You know what? Misha, stop it.
Billy keeps laughing.
Can I just tell you something?
Right.
My son was lying in bed and he was going like this. He's checking himself out. He's like, Dad, look, I got a six-pack. And it was true. He had a six-pack. And then Mason, my daughter, who's like a jelly roll or something, she's like, yeah, I think I have an eight-pack. And then they expected me and they said, Dad, you have a one-pack. Which, yeah, it wasn't fair, but you are not in that category.
This is one. You just got one big beer. All right.
Excuse me, if everybody goes home with tuberculosis, this is patient zero up here. A few days later, Mason said to me, she was looking at her stomach and admiring the fact that it was definitely a one-pack, like mine. She said, look, Dad, I got a one-pack. Because, like you, I eat so much.
Right.
So there's no confusion as to how you get to the one-pack.
Right. Well, I'll save you that talk, at least.
Anyway, that was just all the fitness talk and talking about how toned and ripped and svelte you are.
You're really
that tangent.
Try not to tear your glute from putting your foot in your mouth this entire time. Ladies and gentlemen, Misha Collins.
Misha!
I can't see you, so I don't know what to do with that information. I mean, great. Nice? Work on your weird cat call stuff. Hey! You're so nice! Yeah, fine tune it. That's better. That's better. Speaking of heckling, I recently, last weekend, I went to William Shatner's panel. He was doing a convention, and I went up to the wings, and I put on a Star Trek shirt and some Spock ears and a very authentic looking Star Trek zappers. Don't make me look stupid. And I got up to the microphone. I sort of muscled my way in front of everybody. I cut because that's what you can do when you're me. And I got to the front of the line and I said, I know a lot about Star Trek trivia. I'm a huge fan. But I do have one question. That quote, that famous quote that everybody knows, what was the origin of it? May the force be with you. Which I thought was very witty. Shatner was expecting me to crash this panel, to be perfectly honest. So he had a little witty retort, and then I was like, and then he tried to go on to the next question, and I was like, wait a minute, did he not recognize me, or what's going on here? Because he's just moving on unceremoniously. And so I interjected with, well, before I go, I just wanted to say that you're one of my top 5 favorite captains. And he was like, ha, ha, ha. You know, he had another witty retort, but he was like, you know, why don't you go get your own stand-up show, jerk? And then it dawned on me, because I've been in his position of being up on the stage and having the lights in my eyes, you can't see the person that's asking you the question. So he had no idea. I was just an asshole. I was just an asshole fan. And that's how it ended. He just thought, wow, there really are some jerks in this world. That's what he was thinking, which is true. So I taught him a valuable lesson. How is the convention going for everyone this week? Wow. Are there... What? I don't know what you're saying. Well, let's do this. We have a tradition at these conventions where how many people have never been to a Supernatural convention? Wow. How many have, just for basic? Right. Well, welcome, new people. I should tell you all new people, a lot of people don't reveal this, but I am a nice person, as someone pointed out earlier. The Saturday night show tonight is just a hazing ritual for the new people, so you're going to be harassed endlessly there. Just be careful, okay? Be very careful. How many of you are going to that tonight? All right, good. All right, you have a question?
Yeah. Yes.
What?
Hi.
Hi.
My question is, what city within the continental United States would you want to film or visit that you haven't had a chance to do so?
Excellent question.
Thank you.
Do you have a city in mind? Are you do you work for the Tourism Commission for a certain oft-neglected city?
I work in the travel industry.
You do work in the travel industry?
I do.
What is that? What is that you do?
I am a meetings and special events coordinator for the Ritz-Carlton, New Orleans.
So it was a leading question.
I like to size up the competition.
You're trying to get us to New Orleans, aren't you?
You're already coming to New
We're
Orleans.
going to New Orleans. You don't have to pitch us anymore. I am glad that we're going to New Orleans. I think that we're all excited about that. In fact, between you and me, and don't tell anybody I said this, I think that New Orleans came about because they were like, hey, where do you guys want to go? And we said, New Orleans. Yeah, so we're excited about that. I think the correct answer to your question is New Orleans.
Hi.
Hi. Although it would be fun to go to my hometown, like Greenfield, Massachusetts, and do a convention there. That would be pretty great.
That'd be awesome.
I mean, not a lot of people know the show or know who I am there, but it would be fun for me. Because I could take the people on a tour of oh, look there, over there, that's the building that I threw rocks through the window, and that's the tree that I toilet papered. I was a bad kid, wasn't I? Hi.
My question is, if you could be any superhero from any universe, who would you be and why?
Any superhero from any? I've said this before, but I think a lot of people pick the same thing, but probably Miss Piggy for me. And because she's just unstoppable. Hi.
Okay, by the way, I love you.
Oh my gosh! Wow, this is all happening so fast.
So, what has been your favorite prank that's been done on the set?
My favorite what?
Prank.
My favorite prank? That I have pulled on other people, or that other people have perpetrated against me.
Either one.
I liked the prank that I pulled because that was a good-natured, well thought out, funny thing to do, as opposed to all of the other ones. We had this game. There was a sort of, it was almost like a viral phenomenon on set for a little while. Everybody was playing this game, Words with Friends. And it was clear that everybody in the crew and everybody in the cast had a serious problem. Like, we never put our phones down, and we're obsessively playing Words with Friends constantly. And I was pretty good at it. A few other people were pretty good at it on the crew, and Jared was pretty good at it. And he was like, "Hey, you want to play a game?" And I was like, "Yeah, let's do it." And I said, "You want to make it interesting?" And he said, "Yeah. How about $100 per point? Like, if you beat the person by 10 points, then I do a little quick math, and I'm like, that's $1,000. And that's within the range of possibility. Like, easily you could beat somebody by 10 points. I'm not, comfortable winning or losing $1,000 over a stupid game. No, thank you. So I said, how about $1 per point? No, he said $100, I said 10. I talked him down by a factor of 10. Anyway, long story short, by a weird confluence of evil forces, he beat me by the most that anyone on the crew has ever beaten anybody by. It was like a game where he got triple letter score on a Z in all directions 5 times. Like, it made no sense. It couldn't have happened. And he won by like 160 points. And so I owed him $1,600. And first of all, I went into my trailer and I wept for about a day. And then when I got over it, I started to think, all right, pick yourself up, pick up these crumbled pieces of your life, and stop thinking about the financial ruin you've brought on your family, and just do something, try to make lemonade out of this. And so I went to several banks and I got $1,600 of pennies, nickels, and dimes, which is a huge volume of Canadian change. And I dumped it all on the floor of his trailer. And that's how I paid him back. And that was really great. It was really gratifying. And it got, I made sure that it was, all over the place. It wasn't easy to pick up. And then he returned the favor by scooping most of it up and putting it in my car while I was on set. Also in a fairly unorganized fashion. With a little note that said, "Here's a donation to Random Acts." And still, actually, I no longer have that car, but whoever does have that car, if you brake suddenly, you hear a shh. It's a sloshing of change that is somewhere. I could never find it, but it's somewhere in there. There's change sloshing around when you accelerate or brake. Hi.
All right, so hypothetically, to keep the show fresh, the showrunners decide to give it a new look, and they let you redo the wardrobe, hair, and makeup of yourself, Jensen, and Jared. What do you do?
Tutus? So an answer that was only 5 letters long. That's pretty good. Hi.
Hi. So first of all, I just want to say that you're amazing and I love you. And then my question is there any particular scene or episode that you would like to take place in the future of Supernatural that hasn't occurred yet, or any interaction between 2 characters that you would like to see?
I would be game. I think I know what that person said. I feel like we have been carefully avoiding a topic that everybody feels is imminent in the show and that should just finally happen, which is aliens.
Good answer.
I'd like to see
Good answer.
bona fide Martians and how the boys deal with that. Yeah, thank you.
Hi, Misha.
First of all, greetings from Peru. All the fans, we love you up there.
Amazing. Where are you living here, or are you visiting from Peru?
In Arkansas for 8 years, but I'm from there.
Awesome. Well, we would love to go to Peru sometime.
That would be cool. Yeah, we love you over there. My question is, when you're outside, like normal Misha, you like to hide yourself, or you like to...
I love that when you say like normal Misha, everybody bursts into laughter. What's so hard to imagine about normal Misha? You've seen my live feeds, live streams? I did a very normal live stream earlier today.
So you like to just be yourself outside, or you like to use hats?
No, I don't like to be myself outside. Normally I'm dressed in character, costume. I'm doing cosplay, typically, in an outside situation. What do I do outside? What are you getting at? Are you asking if I'm a public nudist? What? Where is this question going? No. So what is it? What, are you asking me to paint a picture of a typical Misha nature scene?
I mean, a typical day, like...
Typical day?
Yeah.
Well, you mean not on set? Somewhere outside,
Yeah,
possibly just wearing a fig leaf or something. Well, I must confess that I have recently become obsessed with a sort of homesteading mentality. So we have chickens, which are nothing but, as you know, vectors of disease, and we have a pear tree and an apple tree and 2 peach trees and an Asian pear tree and blackberry bushes, and so I spend all of my time harvesting slightly overripe fruit and trying to can it into something edible, or trying to dehydrate it. I made a hideous concoction of sort of fruit leather energy bars the other day that not even the chickens would eat. It's a true story. I had to like take it back out of the chicken coop because they were like, "That, I'm sorry, I'll eat pretty much any of the rancid shit you throw in here, but that we're not going to touch." So I've been doing some canning. I just had a moment of thinking, I hope they turned off the dehydrator, because I was making pear chips when I left, and I forgot to tell anybody that I had left that on. What's that? Live stream dehydrating? Man, you have a nose for drama. I enjoy walks on the beach also. I go for runs. I like to run. And that sort of thing. Never has a question at a panel felt so much like an awkward first date. Do you have any brothers or sisters?
I do have one brother.
You do? Is he older or younger?
That you're a huge inspiration to me, and I think you're super amazing. Yeah, but anyways.
kill the man.
Hi, thank you.
So Gishwas has always been the highlight of my summer every single year, and I was wondering if you had a personal favorite item from this year's list.
What? The pineapple shoes were good? Did you let me ask you this, what were your favorite items this year, or did you have it?
I was a really big fan of the pineapple shoes, and I had a lot of fun making a bikini out of corn husks too. So.
Okay, yeah, the corn husk, a lot of those corn husk images were pretty great this year. There were some great photos of the I can't remember the phrasing, but it was like your depiction of 21st century identity. What is it? It's not quite right, but I have no memory, so. I always like the ones that are related to space and things like that. Over the years, so for those of you who don't know, Gishwas it's like the closest thing that we can call it is a scavenger hunt. It's not really a scavenger hunt because you have to more like do or make things rather than just find things. And it's probably a little bit more on the absurd end of the spectrum and maybe on the more challenging end of the spectrum than a lot of scavenger hunts. Yeah, I like the NASA, the space-related ones. We did get an official admonishment from SpaceX asking us to stop, to remove mention of our company from your list because it's ruining SpaceX, which I felt bad about. I know that they secretly wanted to participate. They just needed a few more people to ask them, so I left it on there. Yeah, we got, I think it was Georgia Pacific Railroad, like the senior VP of, people doing bad things that they shouldn't at the railways, sent a very sternly worded letter to us. Omit this item of the person dressed in Victorian garb on the back of a flatbed train car. That is completely illegal for people to get on the trains, and it's dangerous, and blah, 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 boring. Delete. Because I was thought like there's plenty of ways people can legally get onto a train car and take a photo and not endanger themselves. But I have subsequently talked to a lot of people who are like, yeah, we were taking that picture and then the police came. I was like, oh, really? I wonder who put that stupid item in there. This year, though, as far as I know, no one was arrested or court-martialed or hospitalized as a direct result of Gishwa's activities, which I think is awesome and also a first. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Hi.
Hi. I was wondering, since Castiel's been everything from Cassifer to the Pizza Man, what would Misha have him do if you had one day, open script, whatever you want, or would you be interested in doing a French Mistake Part 2?
French Mistake Part 2. Well, wait, hold on. Are you saying like if this was a real experience or if this were something we were shooting?
Shooting, and would you still be the handsome kind man? Or would you change something?
Oh, I would change the French Mistake, probably. Yeah. It would be great if, for example, the Misha character weren't screaming and getting killed. I don't know. I'm just spitballing here. If I could actually live a real world experience of any of the Cass iterations, I would say that future Cass would be my choice. Hi.
Hi. I was just wondering if there's ever a point where you're reading scripts and you just think to yourself, this is going to suck to film.
Yes. I mean, to be honest with you, I kind of had that thought when I saw that I was possessed by Lucifer for the first time. I was like, oh shit, this is going to be really hard. Because Mark Pellegrino did such an amazing job with that, and I thought, I don't know if I can follow follow in his footsteps. That's going to be really challenging. Why did they set me up for failure like this? Why do they hate me so much? Hey.
You're okay.
Hi.
Yesterday, when Brianna was up here talking, she turned everyone on the banner into Disney princesses except you, Matt.
Wait. When who was doing what? I lost that thread.
Okay. When Brianna was up on her panel yesterday, she turned everyone on the banner into Disney princesses except you, Jensen, Jared, and Matt. So I was wondering who you thought you guys would be.
They don't look like Disney princesses to me. Oh, I see. She created a... Is it because she just ran out of Disney princesses? She started at the bottom, and then when she got up there, she ran out?
Out of time.
Okay, so what Disney princess are those guys?
You, Matt, Jared, and Jensen.
Okay, well, Jared is Rapunzel. Jensen is Snow White. What? That's taken? That's terrible casting. What other Disney princesses? Princess Leia. That was good. Whoever pulled that one out was smart, because, as you know, Disney now owns the Enterprise, the whole. The Enterprise. Okay, so. Princess Leia is Jensen. Rapunzel, which we're calling a Disney property. And then I am Elsa. I'm Elsa, and Matt is Princess Abdominus. Hi.
Hi. How you doing?
I'm well. How are you?
Good. I wanted to ask you what you want to be when you grow up.
Okay. Thank you. I recently asked my children what they wanted to be when they grew up. This was literally last night. And it occurred to me because I'm looking at my son and I thought, you know what? I believe when I was 5, almost 6, all the grown-ups, like as a conversation starter, would be like, what do you want to be when you grow up? And at the time, that question I took very seriously, as well as, what is your favorite color? That's a great question. Well, I would have to say orange. I thought it was a great way to start a conversation, get to know somebody. And my brother, I remember, wanted to be a train conductor, and I wanted to be a writer or something else. I know I vacillated a little bit. West very quickly said that he said he wanted to be an Olympian. And I think that's just because like the only TV we let them watch this summer was the Olympics, and so it's on his mind. But he thinks he's got a pretty good shot. And Mason said, no joke, she said, when I grow up, I want to vote for Donald Trump.
Oh my god! Oh my gosh!
No joke. That's what she said. That was literally yesterday. I made her sleep in the chicken coop.
Hi. What was your first day on set like?
My first day on set, that's a great question. Well, when you are guest starring, which I was doing when I came to Supernatural, or maybe I should say when I am guest starring, it's always a little bit of a nerve-wracking experience because you don't know anybody, and on a TV show it's different from working on a movie. When we come onto a movie, nobody really knows each other that well. Like the crew has just come together and they've just started working with one another. But on a TV show, especially a show that's been running for, in this case, several years, everybody knows everyone really well, and there are certain dynamics on the set that are very ingrained, and you're kind of like definitely the new kid at school, and it's a little bit nerve-wracking. And my character was set up to be potentially recurring, and so that always is kind of like an audition. Like if they like you, basically they're saying, well, we might keep you around a little bit, and if not, see you later. So, which happens all the time. Like the character can be sort of tested out, and if it works well, it's given another life. So there's like a little bit of anxiety built around that. And then I had to do this we shot that scene where my character first appears on the first day, where the doors blow open, and they're shooting me, and there's sparks flying down. And it was really trial by fire. They had these hanging lights, these light fixtures, where the bulbs were exploding and sparks were showering down, and they used, special effects for that, but they're really burning embers coming down. And they wet my head first, because they're like, it could potentially, burn you a little bit. and I'm like, oh, okay, all right. Great. And so I'm like the nervous new guy on set, and we burst through the doors, and and Kim Manners gave me the direction of, just try to be unfazed by anything. So I'm like, right. And I haven't done a lot of scenes where I've been, for example, shot, like maybe a couple in the past, but you're never really inured to the sound of gunshots. They put these things called squibs on you. Do you know what that is? Everybody knows what a squib is?
Yeah.
I didn't know what a squib was. So they put this little pack on your body, basically, that actually has explosive, it's like a half of a gunpowder that's in a bullet. So it's a big explosion, and it rips your shirt open, and it makes the sound of a gunshot, and it scares the shit out of you. And so I, come bursting through the door, and I'm supposed to just walk and be casual and look tough or whatever. And these things are showering down, and it like whatever embers came down were not going out. And I could hear my scalp sizzling. I was burning like a motherfucker. I'm like, oh. Hold on. Sorry, I have to take this. Hi. How are you? What's that? No, I'm not done. I'm still sort of at it. Oh, you did? Did you win? Came in first. Still, 3/3 out of 3 is really great. I'm in the middle of my panel. I should probably. Yeah.
Who is it?
That was my spouse. She was in a little triathlon type thing today. Her team apparently outperformed no other team. Nonetheless, third. Burning, and then explosions, and I'm just shitting my pants. It was just, I don't know how to describe how jarring that experience is. And amazingly, I think that me walking in, just trying to stay stone-faced while I'm being incinerated and shot at, and it's just really hard. So it just took every fiber of my being not to be and that, amazingly, I think, ended up setting the tone for the character for the next 15 years. I haven't really thought about that until now, but really, like that first scene, when we shot that first scene, was establishing the character in a certain way. And and it was really largely just about me just like tensing up my sphincter as much as possible and trying to forge through. So thanks for asking.
Hi. So today I was watching the massive line for your photo ops, and people get super excited in that line. Like super, super excited. Your fans love you.
No, it's actually Chris that they're excited about. Yeah, this is a little known secret, but everybody's actually doing the photo ops just so they can get close to Chris.
Because he smells really good.
He smells great. And here's a little trick, ladies. If you want a little extra Chris love, just like have your hair just like in your mouth or something, and he might even come up and brush it out. A lot of people know that trick. Oh, Chris.
So it got me really curious.
Yes.
Have you ever been thrown up on?
Oh, God.
Like close to it, like somebody had to kind of run because, it was coming out?
No, but let me very publicly say, please don't take that as an invitation. I have been thrown up on by my children. In fact, one of them threw up in my mouth.
Oh. Welcome to parenthood.
Kind of like a reverse baby bird thing.
You said which one?
That was Mason. I'm having a wave of unpleasant memories right now. So I'm gonna move on. Hi.
I'm just starting my second year of college, and I'm actually skipping some of it to be here right now. So.
Oh, good for you. Supernatural, lowering intellectual standards around the world.
So I was just gonna say, I know a lot of like kids in college and stuff.
Did you call in sick, or are you making up excuses, or?
I just said I'm gonna be gone, so.
I'm gonna be gone.
I didn't say why.
Okay.
Yeah. So I know a lot of kids.
Did you do it like teary-eyed though, like as if to imply maybe there was a death in the family or something? I just can't be here.
I did go to a funeral the week before, so they might think it's connected to that.
I see. Well played. Or maybe that's not funny anymore. You guys just delete that portion from your live streams. Great. Thank you.
Y'all just forget that.
Hi. Sorry.
Okay. I love you. It's okay. So I know a lot of kids in college these days like have a lot of dreams and they want to chase after their dreams, and it seems like if you want to go into acting or music or anything like that, people are really critical about it and cynical. So what would your advice be to somebody who really wants to go into acting?
Well, those critical, cynical people are probably right. But when I was in college, which believe it or not, I actually was in college at one point. I had a little bit of a career crisis right at the end of college, where I went to this thing. We had this thing called career and placement, the career and placement offices, and they did a big seminar. And all the kids who were graduating from my college had to go to this big seminar. And they had to dress up nice, and they had to listen to some people telling us how to find a job when we graduated. And that seemed like a wise thing to go to. And they said, and just so you know, this is like very buttoned up, and please go to the bathroom or whatever before you come in, because you cannot leave after we start. And they started talking about how we're going to have to go to these meetings, and we're going to have to, make sure we're clean shaven, and our hair is carefully coiffed, and our clothes are pressed, and we're polite and well-mannered. And I was sitting like I was right in the middle, and there was all these folding chairs, and the room was packed. I was like, I do not want to be here, and I never want to go to that interview. And so I just stood up, and I was like, excuse me, sorry, excuse me. And I left, and I knew that, okay, I'm not going to these consulting agency interviews. That's not for me. And I went to the theater department, and I went to the head of the theater department. Now, admittedly, I had not done any plays in the theater department or taken any classes while I was in college. So the guy didn't know me. But I sat down with him, and I said, listen, I'm graduating soon, and I was thinking about, maybe trying out acting as a job. And he said, no. And I was like, no, but you don't understand. I'd like to, maybe get a resume and, figure out how to go for auditions and stuff like that. And he said, absolutely not. I'm like, no, there's no way you would ever get a job as an actor. No one would have any reason to hire you. Go do something else.
Oh, rude.
And so, which was probably, weirdly, good advice. It's really hard to get a job that pays doing what I do for a living. And it is very unlikely that it'll happen. But I think that if there's something that you really care about, that really excites you in life, that you should do it, and not necessarily for that end in mind. Not necessarily because you think that you are going to be famous, or you're going to get to be at some point up on stage with Richard Speight. But you do it just because that thing that you are excited about fills you with joy and life. And if you pursue something with that mentality, something good is bound to come of it. Even if it doesn't mean that you could become a professional actor. Maybe it means that you hone a skill set that then parlays into something else that is the right thing for you as a career. But if you pursue the thing that you're passionate about at the moment, I think that it ends up paying off. And if you pursue something with an end goal in mind, I think that it doesn't pay off. If you pursue something because you want to achieve something, I think it'll end up being a hollow enterprise and usually unsuccessful. But I do think that when you pursue the things that you care about, the successes come in unexpected ways a lot of times. So it doesn't necessarily mean that you wind up on a stage with Richard Speight. Although, of course, that is the pinnacle. I'm rambling now, but I'm going to tell a sort of sentimental little story. And I think that it's somehow relevant. It's about being happy with what you're doing in the moment. I was getting into the car with my kids. We were at the playground, which is a really boring thing for a grown-up to do. And I was sitting there like, how many more times can these guys go down the slide? Let's go. And I was like, all right, kids, let's go. Cross the street, get into the car, and I just wanted to go be doing something else. And we're getting into the van, and Mason spots this dandelion with a little, that's gone to seed with a little puffs on it. She said, Dad, dandelions, we have to pick those. And I was like, oh, all right, I'll be the good dad. I'll go pick some dandelions. So I picked 3 dandelions, one for me, one for Wes, one for Mason, and handed one to each of us. And I was like, all right, kids, you got to make a wish. And I blew on mine, and I was like, very perfunctory, I wish for world peace or whatever, and in my head. And Wes said, my wish is for, I wish I had a cheetah, which was a legitimate wish. And then Mason took hers, and Wes said, you have to make a wish. She started to blow, and he was like, no, Mason, you have to make a wish. And she says, I wish for this. And she just blew on it. And it was, that always makes me tear up, because it's like, that's it. If you're doing the thing at the moment that you love, everything works better. So, yeah. Hi.
I wanted to ask, you've probably worked with a ton of these guys, the recurring characters.
Yes.
What character, not the person, what character was your favorite?
Oh, this is dangerous territory. But I have to say, it was season 5, and Scary Demon number 4. Man, that guy, incredible. Really incredible. Thank you. Hi.
Oh my gosh.
Misha, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
I'm sorry. What kind of Castiel would you like the writers for you like to write for future seasons? How would you like to see Castiel in future seasons?
I don't know. I mean, we played with so many different versions of him. I really liked doing human casts. I really liked. I liked future casts. I liked Lucifer occupying Cass's vessel. I actually don't have a specific one that I'm like coveting or pining for, but I do hope they keep changing it, because that is what I like the most, is getting to switch it up and do something new. This season so far, Cass has kind of gone back to more like his root personality, like he's kind of a warrior, fighter, a man on a mission, and it's been so long since he's been at full power and in that mentality that it feels refreshing and new, and I'm looking forward to seeing what the next thing is.
This is why you are the best. Because you give a different variety of Castiel, and that's what makes the character beautiful.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
I was wondering, since this year was the first year that I did Gishwish.
You did. This was the first year that you did.
First year I did it.
Okay. Was it what you expected?
Fan-fucking-tastic.
Good.
So I was wondering that if you could have the whole cast of Supernatural do Gishwish, what would you assign each character as their item?
Oh, I mean, the sadistic things that run through my head. It would not be a joyous experience for them, let's suffice to say. I have enjoyed seeing, we've done a lot of different versions of like candy portraiture of the boys, and I'm brainstorming of like, what new things can we do? Because this year we painted Jensen in miniature. There was Jensen mosaics done in Skittles, thank you. And then we had him painted in miniature on a Skittle this year, and now I'm thinking like, what else can be done there? Which, believe it or not, there are things that can be done. My favorite, though, thing that we have done in the past with cast members that's an item was, this was maybe 3 or 4 conventions ago, Mark Shepard came up to me holding something, and he said, "Misha, look at this." And I turned, and I saw, and he was at a distance of maybe 20 feet, and I saw a portrait of him. It was black and white and very, like, well done. It looked good. It was like, wow, that's kind of cool and kind of textured. And as I got closer, I realized that he was painted well, the medium was pet hair.
Oh my God.
And it was the most disgusting looking thing. I'm almost, speaking of throwing up, like, it was just nauseating to see. So that was pleasant for me. I don't know, maybe more things in those veins. I'd love to see, Mark Shepard actually creating a portrait of himself, and and watching him possibly shear his own cat in order to do so. Hi.
I'm going to keep broadcasting to my phone, guys, but it's about to die.
This past season, did you have to do a lot of rehearsing in your personal time?
A lot of rehearsing where?
In your personal time to prep to be Lucifer?
Yes. When you say personal time, it's just a phrasing I wasn't expecting. What I did first was I went to, Mark Pellegrino was up in Vancouver shooting, and so I went over to his Airbnb house and the morning that I started shooting that character, and worked with him and his wife Tracy for about an hour on the scenes that I had that day, and they were very helpful. They basically cheated with me and like showed me. I was like, so what would you do here, Mark? And he showed me, and it was very helpful. And he told me things that he thought, sort of like his background subtext that he had running through his head as Lucifer on Supernatural. Things like most of the time when he's looking at somebody, he's either thinking about having sex with them or killing them. One of the two. And maybe both at the same time. So, that was helpful to know. Thank you. Hi.
Hi. My name's Danielle, and I'm a dietitian, so I work in the health field. And I also recently signed up for my first half marathon.
Oh my goodness! Congratulations.
So I was wondering if you had any advice for people about like health in general or running for beginners.
Advice for health? Yes, I have lots of advice for health. Don't have children. Well, running, I think for me, running gets fun after like a month. Your first month kind of sucks. It feels really hard, no matter how short your run is. But after about a month, it seems like you start to get that runner's high. And that runner's high is great because it's like, heroin or something. It's fun. And then once when you're doing when is your half? January.
I'm doing the Star Wars one in Disneyland.
Star Wars one in Disneyland?